Hey, I made 2 videos in just a few days, so why not making third? But yeah, I mean, this is going to be my kind of 3 video marathon, but then I'm pretty sure there will be some break from the videos. But yeah, I thought about coming back to the album reviews, as I checked that my last album review was in the very beginning of this year, actually January 2nd. So it's been quite a while since my last album review. I reviewed back then Static X, Start a War, and this is going to be a kind of similar the genre-wise, and this is going to be, this is a kind of comeback to my comeback to the album reviews in a way. My first album review on my channel was Fear Factory's Aggression Continuum. Back then it was a brand new album, and I thought about making another Fear Factory album review today and kind of breaking my, well, you could say, promise to myself that I wouldn't be reviewing, more than one album from one band. But yeah, I'm not going to follow that rule anymore, so I will break that rule by today reviewing, well, let me first check. It's one of these albums that I'm going to review. Can you guess which one? This is a kind of collection from the Soul of a New Machine to the, okay, let's say their first album pretty much was Concrete, which consists of kind of demo track versions of Soul of a New Machine and many other tracks that didn't make it to this album, their first. And it has a remanufacture, demanufacture. Of course, the remanufacture was the remix album of the demanufacture. Obsolete, Digimortal. Yeah, this has the 6 albums. But today I'm going to review this is a kind of just cardboard, because there are not jewel cases here, but yeah, kind of boring. But yeah, I really love this album cover. So this is my favorite album from Fear Factory, and it's pretty much always been my favorite. At least it has a track list, so that's good, so I can follow the track list and tell you a little bit about of my favorite tracks from the album. But yeah, let's just start with the kind of history, not the band history, but history of or the beginning of Fear Factory. So Soul of a New Machine was released in '92, and it's very different than any other Fear Factory album. It still has a very strong death metal roots that they abandoned pretty much after Soul of a New Machine. So Demanufacture started the kind of their trademark sound that they are today known of. But this was very different. It had a very strong death metal elements, and still this is considered as, industrial metal, but maybe extreme industrial metal or something. Industrial metal / death metal, whatever you want to call it. But this has aged very well. I mean, this still sounds very, very fresh album. It doesn't sound outdated at all. And, you could say that about, industrial metal in general, because it's, yeah, I would say industrial metal doesn't really get old or just outdated. They always sound, to me, quite fresh, and yeah, this is just an excellent album. I mean, of course there are elements already here of their trademark, sound. It's not that, it's not completely different from the other albums, but it's different enough to really separate from the rest of the discography. But yeah, you could still hear, if you are a fan of Fear Factory, you can still hear the Dino Cazares, signature guitar playing style. It can be heard miles away, even in this album. He has a very unique style of riffing and just, just the tremolo picking, and yeah, he's the master of that pretty much, or one of the best ones. And Burton C. Bell, the original vocalist, who isn't with the band anymore, unfortunately, he quit the band, last year, or was it even 2020? Yeah, he got sick of all the, bullshit, the, long lawsuit thing, and he just couldn't take it anymore. Fuck this shit, I'm leaving. So it was more to do with the, not the music itself or differences with the music taste. No, not that, but all the internal stuff, what happened, all the bullshit. But yeah, his vocals here are very different also, very much like death metal vocals. He sounds very much, to my ear, like Barney Greenway from Napalm Death in early 90s. Not like he sounds today, because he sounds very different, but yeah, Barney Greenway in the early 90s. Very similar vocals here. And to me, unfortunately, Burton C. Bell didn't continue that style after this album. But, still, the manufacturer has awesome vocals. They are different, yes, very, very different, but yeah, I mean, they are two very different vocal styles. Both are great, but I would have liked to Burton to continue the vocals like this, but maybe that wouldn't have worked with the new sound of the band that started in the manufacturer. Maybe it would be a too much contrast between the music and vocals. Yeah, that might be. And he already here also sings clean vocals, like he has always did clean parts with the harsh vocals. But here his clean vocals isn't very good, still not very good. They are not awful, but he really improved on clean vocals on the next album, Demon Manufacturer, and onwards. I would say he got just better and better as the time went on. But here, yeah, some clean vocals are very hard, very difficult to listen to, not cringing. But yeah, I mean, it's very I would say they pretty much invented. I'm not sure if that's if this is the first band. I'm not sure about that, but this is one of the first big bands that mixed clean vocals with harsh vocals. And yeah, they already did it in '92, which was pretty ahead of its time. And yeah, and they have a very familiar lineup here. So Burton C. Bell on vocals, Dino Casares on guitars and actually bass, and Raymond Herrera on drums. But they had still here a different bassist than the Christian Oldevolbers that was later, and then Byron Stroud from Strapping Young Lad came after that. Actually, Oldevolbers switched to guitar because Dino Casares wasn't in the band at that time. But yeah, some dude called Andrew Sheaves was. Actually, what I have heard, he didn't actually play bass on this record. He played, I think, some live shows, but it's all Dino Casares here playing all the bass on the studio album, actually, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, but now let's go through, well, some of the songs. I'm not going to go through all the songs, but my favorite ones. So I would say the first track, Martyr, is pretty awesome opening track. And that's definitely one of my favorites. Then I would say the first three tracks, the second Leechmaster and the third Scapegoat, they are all very good. And actually, especially I like the Scapegoat's vocals. They are really guttural, unlike the first two tracks, which are more like Burton shouting, like, yes, still death metal style, but more like shouting, not like very guttural, very low, like on some tracks like Scapegoat. Crash Test, really interesting track, but yeah, definitely one of my favorite tracks. Really, that song changes so much during the 3 minutes or something. Yeah, it's just very interesting track. It has a lot of changes in tempo and you know. And Fleshhold is a very brutal, fast track, which is one of the more death metal style, straight on death metal style songs on the album. I love that. I would say that is my top 5 songs on the album. Then Big God Raped Souls, which is their most known track from this album. It might actually be my favorite one or my second favorite track from the whole album. It's just so fucking good. I can't get enough of that track. It's just perfect song. Then Arise Above Oppression is really the kind of the beginning of the track has a kind of very haunting vocals in it, and just very moody and atmospheric track, that especially the beginning of the track. And Suffrage, which has a fucking awesome intro, just guitar getting louder and louder, and then drums and bass kicks in, and then it's all hell break loose. It's very chaotic, fast song, but yeah, especially the intro is awesome. It's definitely my top 5 or even top 3 songs. Then I would say Desecrate, which is the fastest song on the album. Yeah, that song is like straightforward, like death metal, very fast death metal, even some grindcore style song thrown into the mix. Yeah, I love it because it's so fast. Then I would say the last track is very good. Also, that's one of the fastest songs, Manipulation. So this has, if I can count right, this has 17 songs, and even though it has almost 20 songs, it's not that overly long album, because these tracks are not, many of them are not more than 2.5 minutes to 3.5 minutes, or somewhere in between. So very short, very sweet tracks. But yeah, this is so interesting album to me. It's like they are still finding their, style here. They have not still found their traditional style, which they've found already on the second album, like I said, on Demanufacture. And they just developed that sound, later more and more. And also, yeah, they had their new metal era back in Digimortal 2001. But it was that time, like, new metal was so fucking big back then. Of course, Fear Factory also jumped on that train. Anyway, and yeah, the reason for another Fear Factory review is also because Dino Cazares have already chosen the new vocalist for Fear Factory, but as far as I know, he hasn't revealed it yet. officially. There has been, already rumors that many have heard who he is. But yeah, I don't believe until I heard the, official statement and reveal from Dino himself that who's the new singer for the band. I'm like that's the biggest excitement in music, scene for me at the moment, finding out who's the new singer for the band. Of course, I would say, to be perfectly honest, no one can fill the shoes of Burton C. Bell. He was the Fear Factory. But then again, I'm not the butthurt Fear Factory fan that will, abandon the whole band because Burton is not in the band anymore. No, I will give this new guy a chance, of course, and let's see how he finds his place on the band and how. I'm pretty sure I trust in Dino for picking up the right vocalist for the band. But I don't think even Dino wants to replace Burton C. Bell, but just giving the band new life and just, not killing the band and not just saying, okay, it's enough, Burton left, let's bury the whole band. No, that wouldn't be a wise choice. I think I'm very glad that he actually wanted and wants to continue the legacy of Fear Factory by just finding new singer, and hopefully the new singer will bring some new life to the band. I'm not saying that the band was getting, weaker, or no way. Aggression Continuum was, the best album in like 10 years or something for me. That was just fucking awesome album. But still, it doesn't touch this album for me. This is their best album to date. And I don't think any album will top this. Anyway, that's my review. And yeah, of course, the verdict. So I will give Fear Factory Soul of a New Machine a well-deserved 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's just so interesting album. It mixes so many styles together, and yeah, this is it. My album review in like 3.5 months, my first in 3.5 months. So yeah, I have not forgotten the whole album reviews, because that will be a also quite big part of my channel, not just talking about games and game news and stuff like that. I'm going to also be talking and reviewing, okay, not maybe talking so much of music scene, but I may be doing a video once the Dino Cazares has revealed the new singer. I might be doing a video of that, but yeah, I'm not sure, maybe. But yeah, I will definitely be reviewing albums in the future. Be sure of that. Anyway, this is it. Fear Factory Soul of a New Machine. 9 out of 10. I'm out. See you in the next one.